Have you ever wondered what a school day looks like on the other side of the world? Today, we're going to step inside the schools of two major nations, Japan and the United States. And, as you're about to see, their daily routines go way, way beyond just books and bells. So, let's just dive right in with a pretty big question. What if the day-to-day of school, the clothes you wear, the classroom you sit in, even the chores you do after that last bell, what if all that wasn't just about learning facts? What if it was actually shaping who you are and what your culture values most? All right, our journey starts right where every school day does, with the morning bell. But if you listen closely, you can hear, right from this first moment, just how differently the day is structured in each place. Okay, so take a look at the basics here. The end of the day, pretty similar, but notice the start time is just a little bit later in Japan. The real game changer, though, is the school year. In Japan, it kicks off in April with the cherry blossoms and runs all the way to March. That's a completely different rhythm than the August to June calendar that's so familiar in the States. And it's not just about what time you show up. It's about what you wear when you get there. In Japan, uniforms are pretty much the standard. And this is more than just a dress code. It's a really powerful symbol of unity, of putting the group first. But in the US, it's usually the opposite story. No uniform often means freedom, a daily chance for a little self-expression. Now here is a tiny moment that just speaks volumes. The bow. I mean, it's not just a quick good morning, it's this deep-rooted tradition, a physical act of showing respect for your teachers and for the established order. It completely sets the tone for the entire day before a single textbook is even opened. All right, let's actually head inside the classroom now, because how the physical space is set up and just the whole feeling of being in that room tells us even more about these two different approaches to learning. Think back to your own school days for a minute. When the bell rang, did you pack up all your stuff and move, or did your teachers come to you? Well, in Japan, students generally stay put in their homeroom. It becomes their home base, building this really tight-knit community. In the US, students are more like nomads, right? Moving from room to room, creating a social landscape that's constantly shifting with every single period. So what's actually on the lesson plan? Well, beyond the usual suspects like math and science, the Japanese curriculum carves out specific time for subjects like moral education and traditional arts like calligraphy. These aren't just, electives you take for fun. They are core to teaching the values of discipline and, you guessed it, harmony within the group. Now, flip over to the US curriculum, and the big key word you're going to see is choice. Students are really encouraged to explore their own passions through a huge range of electives. Art, coding, music, you name it. It's all about building your own personalized path, one that fosters your individual talents and interests. So, it makes sense that the role of the teacher mirrors these different priorities. In Japan, the teacher is a sensei, a really revered guide who's responsible for shaping not just minds, but also character. In the US, the teacher is often more of a facilitator, maybe even a coach, whose job is to spark discussion, encourage debate, and really draw out that individual creativity. Okay, the final bell for classes has just rung, but don't pack your bags yet. Because what happens next is, well, it's arguably one of the biggest, most eye-opening differences between these two school systems. It's called osoji, which literally means cleaning time. And get this, it is not a punishment. It's a daily, scheduled activity for everybody. Students grab brooms, mops, and rags, and they clean their own classrooms, the hallways, even the bathrooms. The point isn't to save a few bucks on janitors, it's to instill this really powerful lesson in shared responsibility and respect for your surroundings. And this brings us to a huge difference in what's expected of a student. In Japan, the school building is your collective responsibility. Students clean it, and they often stay late for required club activities. In the US, well, we have professionals to handle the cleaning, and a student's time after the bell is their own, for homework, for sports, or just for heading home. So we've seen the what, the uniforms, the schedules, the cleaning duties, but now it's time to connect the dots and ask the really big question, why? Why are these daily experiences so fundamentally different? Because none of this is random. None of this happens by accident. Every single small detail we've looked at, from that bow in the morning to the broom in the afternoon, it all adds up. It all points to a much bigger story about the core philosophy of each culture. And this slide, right here, this lays it all out. This is really the core of it. You could say the Japanese education system is precision engineered to create disciplined, responsible citizens who really value group harmony. Meanwhile, the US system is designed to foster independence, to celebrate self-expression, and to empower individual choice.
Now, what's crucial to see is that neither is better. They're just playing a different game with a totally different definition of winning.
So when you peel back all the layers, you realize a school isn't just a place where you go to learn algebra. It's literally a mirror held up to a society. It reflects a culture's deepest beliefs about what really matters, and it's designed to shape the next generation in that very image.
And that leaves us with a pretty interesting final thought. What is the true purpose of school? Is it to create a perfectly integrated member of a harmonious team? Or is it to empower a uniquely creative and independent thinker? There's definitely no simple answer, but looking at these two systems side by side really makes you think about what we expect from our own schools. Thanks for digging into this with us.